Hi everyone, welcome back to my page, Delightful Chef Eats. Today we're going to be making some Caribbean banana fritters. This is a really quick and simple recipe, and you can exchange these bananas for any other fruit, and the measurements will be the same. So I'm going to use a banana and a half because this is half a banana from my breakfast yesterday. But if you use 2 whole bananas, the measurements remain the same. So I'm gonna just smush my bananas with a fork, but of course you can use a whisk or actual masher. And I'm adding about 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. You can add whatever sugar you like, coconut sugar, maple syrup, brown sugar. I'm adding white sugar just to keep the recipe as simple as possible. And now I'm just seasoning with some cinnamon and nutmeg. I also add a pinch of salt, which I accidentally added out, so I'm telling you, and I'm also going to add it here. Add salt. So now I'm going to add 1.5 tablespoons of baking powder. And I'm adding it now because this is like a really rough recipe. It's very similar to pancakes. You can just add everything and mix it together. It's very rough. So I'm adding 3 heaping tablespoons of white flour. Again, you could use whole wheat flour or whichever flour that you're more comfortable with. I'm using white flour to keep the recipe as straightforward as possible. And I'm going to mix that in to my batter. You can sift the flour or not. Again, it's up to you. It's a very like home style sort of recipe. I add about 1 tablespoon of milk. And you want it to be a little bit thicker than a pancake batter. So you still want to be able to like raise your spoon or fork and have it run down, but you don't want it to be too runny. Now I'm going to add a capful of vanilla and mix that in. So now that your batter is done, let it relax and sit for about 5 minutes. Oh, I'm missing one thing. I'm adding a tablespoon of margarine. And again, if you want it to be vegan or totally vegan, then I would add 1 tablespoon of coconut oil. So now let it rest. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. Let your batter rest for 5 minutes. And I'm going to show you how I test my oil because somebody asked before. I'm going to use the tiniest pinch of flour. And if my flour kind of bubbles away, then I know that I'm ready to add my batter. So I have my pan on medium heat, and I've added enough oil just to cover the bottom. You can use a frying pan or a Dutch pan or whatever pan that you like. I like the Dutch pan because it's more traditional. So I'm using just the same tablespoon that I was using for my measurements, and you can make 8 fritters with this recipe using that. So what you're looking for is, again, similar to a pancake. You want the bubbles around the edges. So I'm going to show you what that looks like here. Watch me struggle to pick this up with my spatula. But so you just want the edges to start bubbling, and I'm going to try to pick it up and show the camera as best as I can what that's supposed to look like before you flip. It doesn't take very long. It takes like about 2 minutes on each side. And I just fry them until they get golden brown and they're cooked on the inside. And usually when you see all that bubbling and you flip it around for like another 1.5 minutes, it's cooked on the inside. But of course, do your knife test and make sure that your knife doesn't come up all goopy. So that's what they look like when they're finished. And this is it. Caribbean style banana fritters. Try it. It's super easy. And thank you for watching. Bye-bye.